Welcome back.
Mike and friends here.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's exactly Mike and friends.
That's much better.
We're here in the studio with Mike and Lee, and today we're going to listen to a track. You already know the track. You already clicked on the video. You know what track we're playing. Lee knows what track we're playing, but he's never heard it. I told him the band. I told him the name. Mike is in the dark here. So it's just like, we're having fun, okay? So thank you so much for, clicking on the video. If you enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe, unsubscribe, whatever you feel like. It's all what, right?
I think everybody should subscribe, but that's just...
Yeah, I know. Like, I hope we get to 1 million. No, I'm just kidding. No, but so this is just like going to be an experiment. So we went to see this band live together, Lee and I, and family, but Mike wasn't there. So let's see what happens. So I'm just gonna play it. So I'm just gonna have you look away for a second. I'm gonna pull it up, and thank you so much everyone for joining. Here we go.
Live a night
Okay.
I'm gonna
Wow.
let him
I
go
haven't
first.
heard that in a while.
Okay.
I have a lot to say, but first, do you know this band?
It sounded like a metal band to me.
Yes.
I want to say either Iron Maiden or Metallica,
Okay.
but I'm
You
not sure.
are a bit close, but
No.
I almost spoiled it because I said we went to see them.
But we haven't seen those two together.
Oh, that's true.
Any of
Oh,
those
I forgot about that. So I could just, because to me, no offense to metal people, but the beat always sounds exactly the same, and the guitar solo always sounds exactly the same. And it sounds like it was a metal band trying to add a saxophone to be cool.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard before, by any means.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love your honesty, and I know you're being honest because I know you. It
so you
is
didn't like it.
I didn't hate it.
Would you listen to it again?
Not on purpose.
not on purpose.
Okay.
But if you would hear it on the radio, which is mostly unlikely because it's a. But would you skip it?
If you were in the car, no, because I know you like it.
Okay, so here we go. Reveal, and there it is. Dream Theater.
Oh, that was Dream Theater. Okay.
That's Dream Theater.
All right.
So the reason I picked this is because I think this song, and I love this song. Now, James Labrie is an acquired taste, and when he was doing all the highs, I was like, "Oh God, Lee's like trying to kill me right now." But I guess it did sound okay, but you have to love it. You have to love his voice, and I know you're not really a fan. But what did you think about the vocals here, where he's still young and in his prime?
So he was fine when he was doing the lower register. When he started going up high, I couldn't understand anything he was saying.
Exactly, I know.
And I didn't like that.
A lot of people, even Dream Theater fans, have that problem with him. It's just you can't understand anymore what he's saying. And even right now, and I know the lyrics, I was like, what is he saying? Because I was like, I guess it's just, it's a great talent to sing this high, but it's also it happens, I think, in a lot of metal bands that you just don't understand the lyrics. You have to know them.
But it's the same if you've got a growly singer.
Yes.
So you can't understand anything.
Or maybe
too.
Ozzy,
But-
if.
But somebody like being a prog fan, it's very important when somebody's in a higher register to be able to understand what they're singing. because
Right.
The lyrics are very important most of the time in a prog
Yeah,
song,
like
right?
Geddy. I mean, with
Yeah.
Geddy Lee, I think most of the times, even if he goes super high,
You can still understand.
still know.
And Peter Gabriel is
the
the
way
same.
he pronounces the words as well. It doesn't kind of like blur into just like some higher notes. Now, this is the only song that has a saxophone ever
Yeah,
in the history
and I
of
liked
Dream
that.
Theater. I
I
think it
liked
was
it.
a nice touch.
Mhm.
And yes, I think they tried to sound a little bit more. It sounded like Kenny G, and I'm going to get a lot of crap for that. But it did sound like, like a metal band with a maybe the more commercial
Like if-
attempt.
Kenny G did a duet with Metallica. Yeah.
Oh, then he's cool. Okay. I take it back. No, but I mean, I think Images and Words is one of the finest metal albums in prog, not in like heavy metal at all. I think as a progressive metal album, Pull Me Under, Take the Time, Metropolis, Under a Glass Moon. That's the one that you love the most at the live.
Well, second most.
I
I love this the most until they played that other one.
Yeah, they played that before the what was it called? The something Terror Night. An amazing video they had in the background, but they were all like doing magic.
It was
And is this song considered prog? It didn't sound prog at all.
That's a good question.
Dark Eternal Night.
Dark and I wouldn't call this progress. I mean,
No.
it had a little bit of progressive
Just before
elements.
the solo,
drumming?
just before the solo,
Yeah.
like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
That was about
because I mean the drumming is pretty normal. The key, the time
it.
signature.
4/4 time signature.
Yeah, it was normal. I love the solo, but with Petrucci, you always get a very emotional solo.
Yeah.
He always plays with a
Yep.
very beautiful purpose to kind of like.
And every time I hear him now, I picture that cone.
You look like Jesus Christ. You look like Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, but this is just a song that I tried to kind of like maybe. I thought you were gonna like it, but just because it's not that heavy, but you could still.
Well, and the thing is too that well, for me, a lot of the reasons why I like a lot of the songs that I like is because of the beat. and
Right.
the way how I can't always predict what's going to come in when. Heavy metal, I can always seem to predict what's going to happen when.
Wow. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play him like spastic, but because that is super unpredictable. Or like Watchtower, those are like bands
But
that are you almost
still
like
want-
questioning yourself. Why is this happening?
That's it. I'm playing him the art of noise.
No, but this is the whole thing about why I don't understand why you don't like progressive music, because that's exactly one of the reasons that I like
Yeah.
it, is because it's very unpredictable. It
well-
changes all the time. There's different time
Well,
signatures.
but let me finish here real quick, because I like the unpredictability, and yet at the same time, to me, it's still music. It's not a jam session.
Right.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
I think I know what you're talking about, Mike. I think what you mean is it's predictable because it has a solo, like it has
At the same point.
a guitar, like a metal song has a guitar solo, and a lot of music don't have guitar solos,
same
like
beat.
grunge or pop. They usually maybe have a sax solo. Tina Turner, Michael Jackson, you know.
they can.
That was very popular, but it's like the metal, it's like the distortion, it's the solo, it's the high-pitched vocals. Maybe that's just something that you're not too familiar with, and that's why you say it all sounds kind of like the same. Because you did compare two bands that I love, Iron Maiden and Metallica, but they're very different because one is heavy metal and the other one is like thrash. Thrash is like almost like this
Fair enough.
like
Yeah.
this.
But you're going to get a lot of people that are going to say Metallica's not thrash, because I don't really consider Metallica thrash either.
Well,
I think their earlier stuff, maybe like Kill 'Em
yeah,
All.
like Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, maybe Master of Puppets, but then I think Justice for All is almost like a progressive metal.
But you
album.
don't have, like, if you have a thrash band, you're not going to have a song like Sanitarium.
Yeah, I know the ballad. Also, number two. All number two songs are ballads in Metallica, which is super. No, number four.
Number four.
Number
I was going to
four,
say,
right?
what is the other
Sanitarium.
one? Sanitarium and
Pitch to Fade to Black.
Fade to Black. Yeah.
Fade to
You're not
Black?
going to have that in a thrash,
No.
because thrash bands don't do ballads.
No, they don't.
And thrash bands are more constant.
Yeah, and
Mosh
also
pit,
one is also
you know.
number four, which is also kind of like ballady, and obviously at the end it's like
Right.
but I guess it was a great experiment. And so honestly, what did you think of
I
this?
liked the song. I wish somebody else was singing it.
He's like Alexia.
Because my favorite parts, honestly, were that part just before the solo, and the sax.
Yeah,
So it wasn't the
I think the
vocals.
sax was a nice touch, and I think the sax player that they hired is a very prestigious one too. I don't know his name. I'm sorry, but it's like a really cool musician that they hired for this song specifically.
Mhm.
And but yeah, I think other than that, there's another song on here called "Wait for Sleep." It's a piano piece with James singing on top. It's also a ballad, but everything else is very, very proggy. I would say.
Well, Pull Me Under is not very proggy, though.
Pull Me Under, I guess the ending, that abrupt ending, is kind of like
Yeah.
very, that kind of like
But-
threw me off the first time I heard it.
Mhm.
And I was like, what is this music? That's when I got into prog with this album.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
but yeah, take the time you haven't heard. It's wonderful. And Surrounded. It's also kind of more on the softer side. Metropolis, you did.
Yeah.
We're
Mhm.
gonna do Metropolis actually. Alexia and Lee, and you're invited. You're like, no.
Well, I mean, I heard it live.
Yeah.
But I want to.
But like the whole
yeah.
album. The
Yeah,
whole album is like.
Because I don't know if they played the whole album.
No. They
Okay.
just played that song, Metropolis Part 1. They didn't play. They played like 2 songs from Metropolis Part 2.
So I've heard part 1
Mhm.
because we're going to do the full album, and like Nick wanted me to hear that first.
Yeah, because it
So I've
always reconnects. There's all these lines, these melodies that keep appearing. Like progressive bands do that
Mhm.
sometimes, where they just take something, maybe just a passage.
There's a theme, like a musical.
Yeah, almost like Operation Mindcrime. I could hear that.
Mhm.
What a great album. That was a recommendation by Lee and also Tony, of course. So, yeah, but man, I'm happy. This was a great video.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
sharing
you
this.
so much for,
Thank you for sharing.
giving me your time
Yeah.
and being honest, because
Yeah.
that's what we like here on this channel. Not everybody can be a metalhead. And so it's like yeah, not everybody likes jazz fusion like I like. So
Mhm.
you know, you there's different what do you mean?
Different
Like,
strokes for different folks. Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
You said it.
Yep.
So there you go. So if you like this video, if you like all the different opinions, let us know your opinion. Of course, be respectful. Don't be a jerk. No, I'm just kidding. I never say
No,
that.
no, you're
But-
not kidding. Don't be a jerk.
No, but no, just let's keep it civil. Let's keep it respectful because it's really fun to look at the comments. But if you're being a douche, it's not gonna be fun. Because then I'm gonna reply back. So, but no. But thank you so much, honestly, for watching, for giving us your time, and yeah, let us know what you think. And I guess we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.